Leslie with the Nerdy Narrative, and welcome back to another reading vlog. Y'all are just gonna have to deal with this one during this month because of the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon. I just can't help myself. Today is April 1st, and I am just now getting around to making my first vlog entry for the week. I know you are not surprised that I do not vlog every day. I am really gonna try hard to correct that. I just get so involved. You know, a lot of people have had trouble being quarantined, but I don't. I just have a routine, I have a schedule. You know, I get up, first thing I do is make some coffee, and then I take my dogs for a walk, and then I go for a run myself. And my run is just something that I enjoy. It's just like anywhere from like 2 to 3 miles. I'm not running to compete or get faster. I run for enjoyment. And what I always do to make it kind of fun is kind of almost like a scavenger hunt. I always try to find something cute or pretty or interesting so I can take a picture and send to my mother-in-law, because now that we live about a little over 700 miles from each other, that is about that's the best way I can share my life with her. And she really loves pictures, so I always try to find something that I think she'll love. So that's where my pictures come from on Instagram, if you see from what I'm talking about for my run, because I just decided to share that with everybody. And I just feel like right now, maybe that'll put a smile on somebody's face that just needs a little sunshine in their lives. So after that, I'll come home. I usually will eat some breakfast, and then I do one cleaning chore a day. I used to spend like one day a week and get all my cleaning done. And so what I did is I split it up. So I do one thing a day. And then about that time, I usually have about an hour to do something, read a little bit, or watch a show on TV, read my sites to see if any new books are coming out that are in any of my series. By that time, it's lunch. I'll make lunch, then me and the pups go on another walk. And then my afternoons, I spend editing, filming, reading, watching Netflix. And then all of a sudden it's time to make dinner and take the pups on their evening walk, and then hang out with my hubby. So my days go by really fast. And this month really flew for me because I've had some amazing books to read. Oh my gosh. And today I have been so excited for today ever since I discovered the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon. Oh my gosh, I just cannot wait for today to start. Yes! So the book that I'm starting off my O.W.L.s with is Full Moon by Jim Butcher. This one will allow me to receive my owl for Transfiguration, which is a book that contains a shapeshifter. And this is the Dresden Files book where Harry encounters werewolves. I have read this before. I am in the midst of doing a series reread of the Dresden Files, so I am so stoked to read this one again. Also because this is the book that the Dresden Files read-along will be reading this month. I am participating in a Dresden Files read-along on Twitter hosted by I Read Past My Bedtime, and she did create a page just for this read-along. I will link that in the description box below. So far, we've only read the first one, Stormfront. We did that one for March, and we just started the discussion last night. Today being April 1st, we'll be moving on to the second book. So it's not too late. You can jump in. These are little short books you can get through. You know, you can read them in a day, and they are well worth it. So that's the one I'm going to start on today. On Monday, I finally finished Straight On Till Morning by Liz Braswell, which is a little bit darker and older retelling of Peter Pan. I have mixed feelings about it. I enjoyed it, but it was weird to have so many changes in a fairy tale that I've known my whole life. It was kind of weird, but I'm gonna try some of the other books in the Twisted Tales series and see what I think. So I finished that one. On Monday, I read Spy Family Volume 1, which is a comic book that I was approved for to read the arc off of NetGalley, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was fantastic. It was about a spy who gets a mission where he needs to have a wife and child in order to complete it. He's a loner, he has never wanted a family, and now he has one, and it's, you know, he's a spy, his fake wife is an assassin, his adopted daughter is a telepath. Nobody knows what the other one is, and it's just really comical because each one is using the other two for their own personal gain while also working together for another purpose. And so they're just constantly, hilariously working with and around. It's just so awkwardly funny how they're trying to cooperate with each other to get what they want and not let their real identity be revealed. So I really enjoyed it. It comes out June 2nd of this year. I will definitely purchase it. I hope they continue the series. I will own the whole series. It was amazing. And then so last night I started After All I've Done by Mina Hardy, who is Megan Hart. She wrote it as Mina Hardy. I don't know why they do that. It's like Megan Hart is writing as Mina Hardy. Like, why did they do that if it's going to be out public knowledge that you're the same person? I don't know why they do that. Anyway, I almost read I read 90% of it in one sitting. Got up this morning. As soon as I finished my coffee, walked my dogs, I sat down and finished that book. I gave that one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was predictable. It was not predictable at all. And it was about the story starts with Diana Sparrow. She's been in an accident and she is now home and recovering, but she's missing some months from her memory due to anesthesia-induced amnesia, which is apparently a real thing. Never knew. And like the first thing she discovers is her husband is having an affair with her best friend. That's just the first thing she discovers. This girl uncovers all kinds of things. All these people in this story are really kind of shady people. They've all done some pretty terrible things, and like I said, I thought it was predictable. I thought I knew where the story was going, the mystery of the whodunit. I thought I had it all figured out. I was so wrong. I had a couple of little things figured out, but not like a couple of things I suspected I was right, but the bigger picture I was so wrong. So it was pretty clever because the author totally sucker punched me at the end with how it ended. So I really enjoyed that one. I would totally recommend that one. It's a quick read. And now, is it a reread? Nope. I won't ever read it again, but I did enjoy it. So that one comes out November 10th of this year. And other than that, today so far, I have just been sitting on Twitter reading every Magical Readathon tweet that I can find. I've found a few more O.W.L.s TBRs on YouTube that I've been watching. The only reading I've gotten done was to finish After All I've Done by Mina Hardy. So now I'm gonna wrap this up for right now and get started on Full Moon by Jim Butcher. Oh, no. I forgot. So last night, I'm sitting in my little reading nook. I had just got myself a glass of white wine to join Diana and Valerie in the book because they had just been drinking so much dang white wine, I wanted some too. And my phone goes off with the message, and I was so excited. So a friend of mine from back home, he's a graphic designer, and when I got my channel started, I said, I hit him up and I was like, I would like a logo. Here's my idea for what I want it to look like. I cannot draw worth a flip, but I drew kind of what I wanted and put some explanations around it as to like what I was going for, because it definitely didn't look like any of that. And I was like, could you help me? And he's like, well, I'm not really an illustrator, but he's like, I'm a little busy right now with work and everything. He's like, give me a week or so to work on it, and I'll see what I can come up with. And then, everything happened that's kind of shoved everybody in their homes, and I know he's been stuck home working, and his sons have been home, so he's trying to work, they're getting their school done, and I was not saying anything at all to him at all, because no rush at all. But he hit me up last night. He's like, hey, I know this isn't what you asked for, it's a much simpler version. He said, but what do you think of this? And so he sent me a logo that he made for me, and I loved it. It's so simple and pretty. And he said, I can change the colors if you want. I was like, no, the colors are actually perfect, because that green is what that's what I use on my thumbnails, because it's so bright and it just stands out so well. I said, so the colors are absolutely perfect. And so I will show that to you here, and then I'm gonna get my husband to figure out how to get it on all my stuff everywhere. So y'all, March was just the greatest month ever. It was my birthday, I got a bunch of new books, I read some really great books, I got my new favorite book, In the Way of Kings, I got approved for my first 2 ARCs that I applied for on NetGalley. It's a great day. Alright guys, I'll check in with you later. Okay, checking in. The Magical Readathon at 3 p.m. my time, which is Eastern Standard Time, had the first sprint where we were supposed to read for the next hour, and I started Full Moon by Jim Butcher, which is for my Transfiguration Owl. And so this one is when Harry discovers that werewolves are real and they are in Chicago. So I am 5 chapters in, and so far Murphy's just brought him into the investigation. He suspects that it is a pack of werewolves doing the killing, and of course gentleman Johnny Marcone is somehow involved in this, because the killings that have happened have been tied to him in some way. So we're just getting the scene set for the story. Even though the sprint's over, I'm going to keep going. Good morning guys, checking in. So today is Thursday, April 2nd, and I apologize for the cars you may hear in the background. But I'm really trying to get better about vlogging more often. The problem is, when I think about vlogging, I'm usually doing something that's not conducive to it. So every morning on my run, I always come by this lake here because it's just so beautiful. To me, it's the most beautiful lake that's near my community. It's not actually in my community, it's the one next to it. It's just always a highlight of my run to come by and see it. So I thought, you know what, this morning while I stopped to admire it, I'm just gonna check in on my vlog. Yesterday started the O.W.L.s Readathon. I believe I got about 10 chapters in on Jim Butcher's Full Moon, which is for my Transfiguration class. I would have gotten farther, but I kind of got caught up in playing WoW, which is World of Warcraft for those of you who aren't gamers. Most recently, I've been caught up in playing WoW Classic, but last night I flipped over to retail. Just kind of play around, get familiar with my little tune over there called Razzle. She's a mage, and get ready because I think I'm going to be getting into Shadowlands when that expansion drops. So kind of got lost in that, and suddenly like 4 hours had passed. However, I still got 1 more hour of reading in before I turned in for the night. There are so many cars going by for us to be under a statewide stay-in-place order. Alright guys, I'm going to finish this run and get back to it. Check in with you later. Hey guys, checking in. It is Sunday, April 5th, my last update for this week on the vlog. So I did finish Full Moon by Jim Butcher and I loved it. This is my second time reading the Dresden Files and I am enjoying it so much more the second time because now I've read through the series. I've read most of the short stories. I've read the little I forget what he calls them, but he's been putting out little blurbs on the Jim Butcher website just to kind of lead up to peace talks and get everybody excited. So I finished that one. And of course, when I finished it, I wanted to immediately go into the third one, but I also wanted to get started on the rest of my O.W.L.s for the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon for 2020. So Full Moon completed my Transfiguration exam. And then after I finished that one, I immediately started Salt and Storm by Kendall Culper. And Salt and Storm is for my Defense Against the Dark Arts exam. I did not expect to, so when I first started this one, I kind of got the feel that it was maybe more along a middle grade YA, younger audience type of story. And that changed really fast. When I started it, I didn't think that I thought I would like it. I didn't think I would love it. And I'm to the point now where when I got this book, I realized that it has a second book in the series and I was like, I won't ever read that one. No, that has changed. Like, I'm gonna finish this book today. I have less than 100 pages left to go, and I am so sad that I don't have the second one. That one is definitely on the list to get. I have to finish this. I fell in love with the story. It's so interesting, but it is about Avery Rowe. So the Rows are women who reside on Prince Island, and it's in the New England area, and they're on the island always has a witch, and the witch is always a Rowe female. They never marry. You don't find out until way in why they don't marry. And they always produce one girl child who grows up to take over as the Rowe witch, usually when her mother is in her 40s. They don't live past their 40s. And it is their job to protect the island. They do good luck charms for the sailors. They protect the boats. They calm the winds, bring them good luck when they're out hunting whales. And this story is about Avery, and her grandmother is actually still the Rowe witch because Avery's mother won't use her magic and she doesn't want Avery to use hers, so she's basically cursed Avery, and Avery is trying to do everything she can to take her rightful place as the Rowe witch from her grandmother. And that story is about how she is trying to do that. So she's 16 and you think it's gonna be one of those little stories about a 16-year-old, because what do 16-year-olds know, really? I know I didn't know anything. I thought I did. I didn't know jack. I actually did not know anything about being an adult really until probably my mid-30s. But it's a very intriguing story. I seriously read the first couple of chapters, thought I knew everything that was going to happen, and thought, it's a fluff book. I'll enjoy it. I'll like it. Won't love it. The tide turned quickly, so to say. But I'm looking forward to finishing this book. I will finish this book today, but my husband and I have a few things we want to get done. But it's the weekend, and the weekends usually belong to my husband, and we try to spend as much time together as possible. Although he doesn't mind if I want to sit and read, but it's usually our time to watch movies, catch up on TV shows. Usually we go out and about, but we can't do that right now. So we've really just been kind of watching TV and watching movies and playing World of Warcraft. So yeah, that was a very unexpected enjoyment that I'm getting out of Salt and Storm. And I actually bought that book not knowing anything about it. I needed it for my O.W.L.s because I needed a book that was set on the sea or the coast. So G has a spreadsheet where you can go to get recommendations for the books you need to complete your exams, and some people have put that one down, and reading the synopsis on the ones on the spreadsheet, I was like, well, that one sounds about the most interesting. It didn't really just kicked me like, ooh, I'm looking forward to reading that book. But, and how I actually, so it was really kind of funny. I was trying to figure out which exam I wanted to complete next, and I just couldn't. I mean, I picked such a great TBR for my owls that I just couldn't pick. So I literally took my Hermione wands and I took the page that has the prompts on it, and I just closed my eyes and twirled around and like just picked on it. I was like, all right, what did I pick? And that's how I came up with that one. And now that's probably going to be how I choose the one after this. You can see my little TBR shelf over there on the wall. I don't know, it's gonna be rough. I don't know if I want to do Mistborn or, you know, actually I might change because I discovered recently that Mistborn is not the actual title of that book, it's the title of the series, and I believe that book is actually The Final Empire. So I might back up and punt and change that one. I do have a ton of books that I got for my birthday haul last month, so I do have, I think, 3 that start with an M, so I might change that up. But it was a good week. And that's gonna wrap up my week in reading. It was a fantastic week. I read my first comic, which also happened to be my very first approval of an arc from NetGalley. So I read, and that was Spy Family Volume 1, and then I also got approved for another arc from NetGalley, After All I've Done by Mina Hardy. I will finish Salt and Storm today, and then I read Full Moon by Jim Butcher. And I also finished Straight On Till Morning. So I mean, gosh, that was 5 books I completed this week. That's pretty amazing. Can't wait to see what next week holds. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you soon.